I've been playing this world live on Twitch for over 1,000 Minecraft days. I think it's time I did a world tour. It all started somewhere around here. This was our spawn, and the first thing I saw was this mountain, and decided I would like to call it home. I stumbled across a TikTok by Louis Dupuis, and keep that in mind, there's a lot of TikTok inspiration in this world. And in that TikTok, Louis Dupuis carved out a mountain and made a small mining camp. And of course, when I say small, I mean quite sizable. In the TikTok, Louis Dupuis had built a mine entrance that looks something like this, but you can see that I haven't actually dug into mine yet. It is still incomplete. Something that I built that was a little bit different to the video is this storage area. So there are two main areas within this single storage area. There's this corridor here, and there's another corridor at the back. You can see that a lot of this space is still unused, but pretty much everything that I own in this world is stored in this storage area. And then of course, let's not forget the smelting station, and I've got a couple of small crafting stations with a few more furnaces. If we come back out into the open area of Mining Station Alpha, we have a small wheat farm, a small storage area which is a little bit useless considering we have so much storage space over there, but I was considering using this for things like wheat and other animal related items. And then just to the side of the small storage barn, we've got this cow pen. Continuing past the beehives, we have our donkey. Let's not forget donkey. Let's ride him for a second here and travel over to the entrance to our iron golem / iron farm. If we hop up onto the wall here, you can see this area is supposed to be a mine, and there is a crane here pulling an iron golem out of the mine. There's also this watchtower to the side, which I began the video in. If we head into the watchtower, we can travel down this trapdoor and into the mine. And jumping down into the mine takes us to the iron farm. Down here I've got a temporary villager breeder and some mason villagers because I needed to buy bricks at some point, and again, they're temporary. If we turn around and head in the opposite direction, this takes us out to the iron farm, which looks something like this. Just behind the iron farm we have this trapdoor. Heading down the trapdoor takes us to the iron golem killing chamber. All of the iron and poppies are gathered in this chest here. And if we rotate to the back of the room, climb this ladder and open this trapdoor, we've got ourselves a geode and a place where I can farm some amethyst. If we head outside of Mining Station Alpha, we are greeted by the building that I am most pleased with in this world. Once again, this build was heavily inspired by a TikTok by Keris Builds. And if we head to the back, you can see it looks something like this. Let's not forget the small veranda area on the side. Now this build has only just been completed, and if we head inside you can see that the interior is yet to be decorated, but I have begun work on this in a recent stream, and I plan to have a villager trading hall that begins on this floor and goes down into an underground space. But like I said, this is the most impressive build in the world so far, and something that I cannot take full credit for, but I'm very impressed by. Just beside the Silver Peak Castle, as it's referred to by Keris Builds, is my mob farm by IanX04. This thing is temporary, but since I haven't been able to build something better yet, it remains in the world. If we enter the trapdoor and climb the ladder, it takes us down into a small storage system where all of the drops from the farm are collected. That's pretty much it for this part of the world, so what we need to do now is head off in this direction, fly past the Silver Peak Castle. We'll head over to the Halloween build first, which is situated on this small island. This zombie mansion build, again, as with other builds, was heavily inspired by a TikTok by Grayson. Heading to the back of the build, it's quite basic, nothing much to see here. If we walk through the porch area and in through the door, you can see that once again, interiors are not my strong suit, something I haven't completed in this build either. But we do have Freddy and we do have Jason, our pair of Halloween themed dogs. Back outside of the zombie mansion, as it's branded by Grayson, we have 3 custom Halloween trees. If it's not clear, they're made up of netherwort block, shroom lights, jack-o'-lanterns, red glass and orange glass. Following the pathway down into this small area, we have the first part of our graveyard, and on each gravestone is a name of one of my followers on Twitch. So throughout this graveyard, we have the names of those that have been gracious enough to follow me and support my journey in this world. I've been lucky enough to gain enough followers that wasn't enough gravestones, so we actually had to build a few more over here, and as you can see, more names of more important people. And then I'm eventually planning to have a little bridge that connects this part of the island to the next, and we've got one final custom tree. Heading slightly back towards base, we have our Christmas themed build. And I think this has to be my second favorite build in the world so far. I had a lot of fun making this, listening to Christmas music, and overall having a really festive time. The backside of the Christmas build looks something like this. And once again, this was inspired by a TikTok by Grayson. He has dubbed this build the Winter Keep. Now please try not... Now, please try not to judge me, but as we enter through the door, you'll once again see there is absolutely no interior to be had within the Winterkeep. But I promise that one day I will come back during a stream, put some furniture in here, and give it a nice and cozy feel. So for a quick reference, the Halloween build is just behind the island in front of me, and right here we have a 2x1 hole that leads down to the end portal. As you can see from this and from the interiors in my world, there's a lot of work still to be done. But if we follow the path through, it does eventually lead to the end. I've got two major things going on in the end. One of them you can see behind me to the right at the moment, and the other is to my left. If you'll notice, I've filled in all of the portals, beating the dragon 20 times. Seems as though there's still a shulker bolt floating around. Better get rid of that. Now, if we fly towards this ugly monstrosity, I'm sure a few of you would have been able to identify exactly what this is already. But for those of you that have been unable to, this is an Enderman farm. So we can just stand here and listen to that beautiful symphony. Just beside the Enderman farm, I've got a small enchanting setup, a couple of anvils, and a grindstone, just so that I can work on my tools and armor if needed. Heading back up to the main island, we want to take a right and head in this direction. And once again, we've got another floating monstrosity. Wow, things really do get a little bit choppy here. This farm causes a lot of lag, and if you haven't been able to identify it, this is a shulker farm. Now, I don't know exactly how this works. Someone a lot smarter than me designed it, but if I turn the lever on, then this farm will automatically produce shulker shells. And those shulker shells can be collected up here, but it's not always that easy. As you can see, the shulkers don't take too kindly to you being in their farm. That's all there is to see in the end. We're back at Mining Station Alpha, and there's one more build to visit, but this time we have to go through the Nether portal into Hell. Coming out of the portal, we want to travel down this corridor, and you can probably get a slight hint as to where we're going. And that long corridor brings us out to roughly 1,500 blocks in each direction. And out here, I've been able to completely spawn-proof a Nether fortress within a Soul Sand Valley biome. Down here, hidden away underneath the Nether fortress, is this small entrance that leads us to the Wither Skeleton farm. And if we come through to the back, climb up this glass staircase and stand in this position, we have complete access to the Wither Skeleton farm. Down here at the bottom is where all of the drops end up, and as you can see, I've taken most of it back to base, but there are a few things piling back up into the storage. This farm is perfect for gathering Wither Skeleton skulls. And that just about does it for the first 1,000 day world tour of this world. As I mentioned at the start of the video, I live stream this world on Twitch. If you want to head over and follow me or join one of the streams to have a chat and watch what I get up to, there's a link in the description and my username will be on screen right now. I also just want to say a quick thank you to everybody that's turned up and watched so far. I really appreciate it. Thank you very much for spending time on my channel. It's great to have you there. It's always a lot of fun and I can't wait to see what we get up to in the next 1,000 days. Thank you very much for watching. Take care and I'll catch you next time. Bye for now.